While preparing to discuss what happened today, I got distracted by this amazing article on Zero Hedge. Indonesian man becomes instant millionaire after space rock crashes through his roof. While millionaires usually say their vast wealth was forged with incredible grit, determination, and perseverance, at least one newly minted millionaire in Indonesia had a bit of luck as a $1.8 million meteorite crashed through his tiny hut. It's a Zero Hedge article. Now, the universe seems to have rewarded this man. Um, Maybe because he knew Indonesia had 13,000 islands, not 18,000, like in the real reality, where it was always 13,000. Anyway, all jokes aside, what happened today wasn't funny at all. And I wasn't laughing with the toilet paper incident, but toilet paper is a complete joke compared to this. And I'm not, before I go on any further, I'm not necessarily correlating all of these events together. Okay. The weird dream I had that wasn't a dream, it literally felt I was under hypnosis and somebody was standing there extracting some kind of metallic stuff out of my mouth. Whether it was an alien abduction or not, I am, I have, if I am an abductee, I never had any recollection of such. Um, the owl sightings might be a connection, but I don't know. I simply don't know, and I'm not willing to do hypnotic regression because I can't get hypnotized. So, but if that wasn't a dream, somehow they did hypnotize me. Anyway, so I attempt to go to my wife's car uh, to go to work, and I look down. In the middle is a big concrete block lifting up the car, staring at it, confused. Why the hell is it there? I didn't even look around at first. And when I did, the wheels were gone. One wheel on the left, one wheel on the right. The whole damn thing. So, I thankfully, my wife got home right in time, so from her job, so I was able to take the other car to work. And also, thankfully, that they stole it from our crappier car, not our newer car we just got in September. A 2005 Honda Civic with a lot of miles. Having said that, we did contact police. They said just to make a report online about it. Okay. Called the apartment office. They didn't care. Whatever. I asked them to ask security if he saw anything. They'll give us an update on that. When we come home, I'll make a 30-second short little video showing the condition it's in because nothing has happened yet today, but thankfully the insurance will cover it. Yada, yada, yada. Strange. Strange indeed. I will say this. If two or three more incidents, such as the strange ones with the card on my chair, my drained batteries, the dream that wasn't a dream, the toilet paper, the wheels, two or three more things, and I will be convinced that this is more than just coincidences, that I am potentially being messed with. And I'm the first one to try to as woo and out there as I seem, I always look for the most plausible explanation first. Okay, I do have a skeptical side on all these matters. So before you grind me down and say, "Oh, you're not this, you're not that," no, I'm gonna say if a couple of more things happen, I will have to conclude that these are all interrelated. Having said that, there's nothing really shocking about this. My previous job, I worked in these super fancy, multi-million dollar apartments where in the garages were Lamborghinis and Aston Martins and Bentleys. And it was in a really rich area of San Diego. And I was doing a patrol job, security, and you would assume that this is a great area, it's safe, it's a good neighborhood. I live in a good neighborhood too. But as you see here in Southern California, that's completely irrelevant what neighborhood you're in because the crime is everywhere. So, in this fantastic, fabulous series of complexes that I patrolled, that I'll not name, obviously, it was a absolute cesspool of crime related with cars, of course. Of course, you're going to have the criminals coming down where the money is, right? So there's window break-ins, carjackings, garage prowlers. There was drugs, meth, and it was a mess. It was a stressful mess, and it was constant. We couldn't get these people out of the garages. These mostly homeless people, like people that would drive from the other side of the county to go to these garages to carjack, and people would leave like important stuff in their cars, like they would, which is stupid. Now, I'm not rich, obviously, but I do live in a good area, and if it is just a bunch of thugs, then that leaves me concerned. I'm gonna keep an eye out every night, maybe peek out the window a few times a night if I'm awake, see what's going on. But again, if these things are interrelated, I'm gonna hope and keep my fingers crossed that it's not, and the strangeness will cease because I don't want it. Obviously, for what reason? That's ridiculous. As a precautionary measure, I will maybe not talk about certain things anymore. I'll keep iPad Go 2 out of the discussion, which is good anyway because it's beating a dead horse and going nowhere. Even though I'm convinced that these events will transpire by 2024, there is no use in talking about them anymore, and it's a waste of time. And the cartoon is a sigil, it is a black magic manifestation, and it is cursed. It is cursed to those who observe it and those who study it because they can't stop once they start. And thankfully, I've sort of stopped lately. I'm going to leave you off on a positive note. And don't forget, tonight after work, I'll film the old Honda Civic and show you how it looks like. But this is a really fascinating book I'm reading about. It's called Afterlife Adventures. It's I can't see the author here, but I got it on Kindle. Really amazing book, really incredible information. And I've read a lot of similar books, but this one really takes the cake and goes really in depth into subjects. So, what is referred to as the Christ in the Christian perspective is known by other names by those of other faiths. Here I touch on how the particular embodiment of the divine, which Christians call the Christ, and which is expressed through Jesus, is relevant to the afterlife. I assume that the same principle is at work by whatever names it is known and by whatever religious ideas it is given expression, wherever and whenever the law of love is truly thought and embodied. Christ opened up the spirit world to those on earth, but since his time, that veil has been gradually restored. Until now, death is as palpable a separation as it was in the pagan day. One of the reasons why Jesus Christ has such an important role in the afterlife comes from the term Christ, which means anointed one. Jesus' role in to demonstrate that the Spirit of the Christ can be expressed and experienced directly even while on earth. The Christ is an aspect of God, and some say it is the aspect of God that oversees the evolution of humanity. The Christ leads humanity all the way through its evolutionary process to counterbalance our descent into matter. The role of the Christ is to lead us back out of matter and our identification with matter to reclaim our true identity as spiritual beings. We look to Christ as the most perfect example of God's love and wisdom that ever lived on earth. That's it, right? That's the key. We descend in a spiral vortex into matter where we are then extracted back into the source, into the divine. Or in another cycle, we are now placed into another, maybe it's a reality not made of matter, a new creation of God, where we descend into that vortex. We then make our way back into the divine, such as the notion of Jacob's ladder, where you climb back into God. And the cycle repeats forever because there's nothing else to do. There's nothing else to do. All right.